introduction. Today I want to talk about a little bit about incentive mechanism for IPD. IPD is called Integrated Project Delivery, and especially for multi-party contract by using a probabilistic cost and risk software. So first of all, the motivation. Today we talk about the basics of IPD and the incentive mechanism and the software. Then we have a little use case and at least the conclusion and outlook. The motivation is in Germany we have the problem that major projects often have a cost and overrun, and also overrun at time. That's the major problem of this, is that the contractor and the owner have different objectives, because the owner always want to build very cheap, and the contractor want to make a big profit of the project. So that's the major difference in the objectives. And also this kind of contracts is a big problem, because the risk sharing by unit price or fixed price is so big that one of the participants have to care all of the risks. So that involves very much about the cost and the schedule. But if you use a multi-party contract, you can bring the objectives of the participants closer to each other. So at first we make the explorative literature analysis and searching for incentive mechanisms for multi-party contract and so on. And there were a lot of different approaches for incentive design. Also in blockchain, many theories about incentive mechanisms, but there was no incentive mechanism for multi-party contract. So what is integrated project delivery and what is a multi-party contract? IPD is a delivery model which has an early contractor involvement and joint risk management, incentive mechanism, multi-party contract, collaborative working methods, example lean construction or building information modeling, and joint decision and the conflict management. So you can see, if you have a multi-party contract, there is not only the sign of the owner on it and one of the participants, so it's the owner, the designer, the construction company, and maybe some other construction companies. So the software we used is called RIAD. It's a risk administration and analysis tool. So it's possible to put there the costs of the project, the risks, and make it or connect the cost with the time. It's very important if you have a tunnel project, because most of the tunnel projects have a high risks, and also a lot of delay costs. You can see it there in the picture that you can connect the risks also with the schedule, so that you can also see how big is the delay, and choose your value at risk to make sure that you will be in time and in cost. So here are some screenshots. You see on the left side the working break structure. It's the cost elements of the project. Then you see the probabilistic results of it, so on the schedule, and also on the right side the tornado chart, which is an incentive and sensitive analysis about the risks with the biggest impact on the project. And here you can see more about the schedule, also with the work structure. And here you can see on the second part of the picture that you can connect the cost with the schedule, and the software will also calculate the costs if you are a delay, and also will say how big is the probability that you will be in time or not in time, and also will say you what critical path there are, and also will not only choose you one, show you only one critical path. It will combine which critical paths are possible, and show you at the end the results. And also the same for the milestones. So if you have a multi-party contract, there are, as example, more contractual partners. Here in this picture on the left side, you can see 3 as example. And if you want to calculate it, you have to build an aggregation of all 3. So you calculate for each contract partner the costs, and will all aggregate together. And then you have to find together the value at risk. At here it's a P50, so that means you have a probability that you will have a cost overrun about 50% or a cost underrun about 50%. Here's the incentive mechanism. So we choose a cost structure by base cost, which doesn't involve any kind of hidden or extra costs. We have risks that we have identify in the project escalation, because the projects have a long construction time, and the general business expenses which have the for the contractor, and also the profit. The general business expenses and the profit will calculate later on with a percent to the base cost and the risk and the escalation. So, as you can see on the right part of the picture, we have the target cost chosen by P50 and the target profit. So if the 3 construction companies will have a cost underrun, they will have an additional profit, and by the dashed line, the blue dashed line, you can see the share ratio is about 50%, so both will participate about 50% about the profit. And here's another example. If we have the underrunning, there the green point down there is the profit. So that's the whole bonus for all 3 participants. So the little example project we designed is a tunnel project. You can see on the left side the path time diagram, and you can see the different lots of it. So with an TBM, an ATM, new Austrian tunneling method, and TBM is a tunnel boring machine. So different lots, and you all can see on the right side the cross sections. And so we identified, or we created all base costs, all identified risk. I think it was about 150 to 200 risks we identified, and created for all contractor lot the direct project costs. So the direct project costs are the base cost, the risks, and escalation. So you can see here, an example, the contractor lot 2, and later on we aggregate all costs together to get the target costs in million euros, and the target costs involve also the profit and general business expenses. And you can see it here with another approach with a Lorentz curve. It's just another possibility to show it. You can see with the yellow color it's the construction cost, then here the profit and so on, and then you can see we just added the bonus and the savings for the owner on it, and so you can say the target costs, which involves really everything, are about 543 millions. And the results shows that if we choose or we make the incentive mechanism like this, every participant have the same bonus and percent regarding to the target cost, so that everybody have the same incentive. So that's very important, because if you have different kind of lots, maybe, and you use classical contracts, that not everybody is in the same or will not be working best for the project, because he maybe will get more of the project or not as much, or will lose of the project because the other also lose of the project. And the conclusion is just chose one creating of an incentive mechanism. Also, it's possible to set an incentive on the quality or the time. And it shows just that it's easier if you use a risk calculation and use especially probabilistic methods. And we have in Germany now, I think, 4 projects we will use this incentive mechanism. And yeah, I think the last thing I already said. So that's all.